James is in Chingford. James, what made you pick up the phone?
Hi, James. Thanks for taking my call.
You're very welcome.
Well, to be honest, I've been listening to you for many, many years and never had the guts to call you in because I think you're just going to rip me apart on the radio.
Not now you've said that. I want to be friends. So what is it that you're so wrong about, James?
You're right. That's the good way to start. No. To be honest, James, the reason why I've called in is I think like most of the country, I'm despairing of the situation that's going on in Parliament, and I have to say I did vote Leave back in what year was it now? 2016. I can't believe what type of turmoil this is causing. But the more that I look into it, the more I think, well, actually, probably it was inevitable because the country has never really been very united on the European question ever. And when you put a question as black and white as vote to leave or remain, what were you going to expect? And
naively, I thought that there might at least be the vaguest of lip service paid to the plausible and the possible on both sides. But of course the Leave side made all manner of promises that have turned out to be utterly unkeepable. But there you are, still buying it.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, James. I remember during the referendum, I've always said that I think because Cameron was unable to get a lot of reforms that would have pleased not just his party but a lot of. But he
wasn't. He wasn't able to get. There was nothing gettable. What David Cameron didn't do was when people said we want changes to immigration, he didn't turn around and say we could have had changes to our immigration situation at any point in the last 5 years. We could have had it at any point since we joined practically. We choose as a government, just as Gordon Brown's government before me, just as Tony Blair's government before him, just as John Major's government before that.
Exactly.
We choose not to have more stringent immigration measures in place. We'd be free to. It's got nothing to do with EU membership.
And I think that was what was sort of where the British public was lied to, because I think David Cameron made it. Well, hang on, let me finish. When David Cameron was going to the European Union about immigration and stuff, I was like, I don't care about immigration. I think we should have, open borders with Europe. I think we should have open borders with the Commonwealth. I think we should, make it as easy as possible for people who want to come here to work and also want to come here to escape prosecution to come. They need to come. And that is not my issue at all.
Go on quickly. We're going to run out of time and I'm dying of suspense.
Sorry, James. I think. One of the biggest issues that I have with the European Union is the sense that the common ground of further and further integration, which I think is not so much a bad thing, but the problem is that I don't think it can be achieved.
Forgive me if I sound patronising. Have you read the Lisbon Treaty?
Yes, I have.
And you are also familiar with what was secured for the United Kingdom, which was a sort of exemption from this commitment to further integration, retaining the power of veto. I don't have an argument that we should have had 3.5 years ago, but what I am interested in knowing is whether you. And I'm going to be a bit rude now, if you'll allow, because we're getting on well, and it's just bants. Have you now fallen so far down the rabbit hole that you're about to tell me you support a no-idea Brexit?
No, to be honest, James, what I support is even though the Leave campaign was fraught with lies, as I think the Remainers are equally bad. Not equally bad,
but we'll let that pass.
Okay, whatever.
Well, no, there's a massive difference between saying something that's not true and saying in the future this will happen and then it doesn't happen. There's a massive difference between telling a lie and getting a prediction wrong, which is... No,
James, you're absolutely right.
I know.
And to be honest, I will never argue against some of the foul things that Mr. Johnson, Rees-Mogg, etc. have said. And
don't forget Farage's poster, mate. You saw that and still voted the same way.
Well, this is the thing. I appreciated to have a vote on the membership of the European Union because I never did because I was a baby when.
Right, I'm late for the news. Back to no idea. Where do you stand on a no idea Brexit?
No idea. Well, it can't happen. It can't happen. Brexit cannot happen in this particular climate. And I know this is going to irritate everyone. We've got to put it on the back burner. We've got to sort our own politics out before we can even think about this Brexit idea now.
It's not going to irritate everyone, is it?
No. Well, I don't know. Do you think?
It doesn't irritate me.
You'd be a bit irritated? Do you not think you'd be a bit irritated that we've gone all through all this and then nothing's happened?
No.
I think most people
I'd be desperately relieved. I suppose I'd be irritated at all the time wasted, but then you'd have to find some way of building a bridge between people who are irritated that we've wasted so much time for nothing and people who still feel that if only we'd wasted a bit more, we could have all got our unicorns. James, I've enjoyed talking to you. I'm sorry that my manner is so brusque and bitter that you have felt unable to ring in the past. I hope that this warm glow of a burgeoning bromance will persuade other people that this is a very, very cuddly context in which to converse.